Shamika because she is where you need to start in the home buying process. She is a credit guru. She can fix. She personally fixed my credit. Some of you all know her or have used her. She did my credit. She worked on it for like 2 years. I was so surprised. I was like, oh, that's it. Like, I take one time and you fix it forever. She does really good. So she's gonna give you some information today. Pay attention. I give everybody some paper so you can take notes. There's little index cards. If you have questions, try to wait till the end, just so you know she might cover it, and we might cover it later on. We will have a question and answer section. So go ahead. This is Shamika. Yay! Be outside. Okay.
So just like Rex said, well, congratulations to you guys because this is the first step that it takes to get a house.
Make her climb.
I push home ownership because African Americans, that's just not something that a lot of us have, right? We grew up, our mamas probably didn't have it, our grandmas didn't have it, and so I feel that it's my responsibility to make sure that I put this into you guys so that you put it into the next generation because home ownership is something that we should want to go out and get just like Jordan. Y'all heard that? Okay, so I'm just going to talk about a couple things that y'all need to make sure that your credit has or should not have so that you can make sure you are credit ready. I do not believe in wasting a loan officer's time at the bank, and I know that they don't mind talking to y'all, but they would love for you to be prepared when you come in versus so I'm a big advocate for that. So I'm just gonna go down. Most of y'all got Credit Karma, right? Most of y'all don't log into your phone, right? So y'all know how it looks. So I'm going to go off of my own from when I log in, and I'm gonna tell you from top to bottom what you should not have. So if I go into your Credit Karma right now, and Credit Karma always starts the credit report off, of course, with your name, your different addresses where you don't live. That's fine, your employment. Okay, fine. Next section is auto loans. If you have a car there, and I'm not gonna name some of these places in Kehoe, TPLS Motors, you know, some of these places that they have a lot of repos that I see on individuals' credit around in this area. If you have a closed out account, if it has a balance, and it says closed, to me, that's a repo. If you gave the car back as a voluntary repossession, that's still a repossession. I know a lot of people don't understand that, but it is, okay? So whether you gave it back, they came and got it, or if, and this is another thing that I see, oh, I got into a car accident, I didn't have no gap insurance, they done took the car, and now you still got this amount on your credit. Those are no's to the bank, okay? So I want y'all to look at it like if your children were coming to borrow some money from you. If you gave your child $10 and they blew it, bought candy, wasted it on stuff, but then they want to come back to you in a couple weeks and they say, nah, I want 20. You gonna give it to them? You gonna hesitate, right? That's the same way the bank does. The bank wants to ensure that the money they're gonna give you, you're gonna be able to, one, get into a house, and two, they don't have to worry about you foreclosing on that house later, okay? Because foreclosure is a real thing. Now, yes, we can get you into a house, but I need to make sure, and that's why I work with people, I want to make sure that not only you understand how credit works, but you need to know how to pay your bills, because I can get you in a house, but what's going to happen after you get it? Can you keep the house, okay? Y'all know about property taxes. Do y'all know to make these mortgage payments on time? COVID done showed a lot of people that they were not as squared away as they thought, because a lot of people can make their mortgage payments. Now they upside down, okay? So, we don't want repossessions on there. We also don't want to see, most everybody know a First Premier credit card. Y'all know First Premier credit card? Anybody know American Bank, Finger Hut, Capital One, okay? Bank of America. Y'all have closed out accounts that are charge-offs, bank accounts that you did not pay, and now Launch is notorious for doing it. If you see Launch on there because you did not pay a credit card bill that you owe, or an account, those are no's to a bank. Why would a bank give you money when you couldn't even pay a bank? Now, most of what y'all don't understand is a credit card company, that's a bank that's giving you money. That card that you got, that's a bank giving you money. So if you can't handle money in the first place, they're not going to want to give you no money in the second place, okay? So we don't want to see charged off accounts. And if you want to know what a charge off is, that means that this company that you got money from is saying, you know what, we done tried for 180 days, that's 6 months. We done tried for 6 months to get this person to pay us and they didn't. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna charge it off. That means we just gonna write it off our books, and we're gonna take this debt and we're gonna sit it over here to the side, okay? Now, have y'all seen where you see Capital One on your credit report, but then at the bottom, it's a collection, and it say Capital One. Now, how is on my credit twice and I only have one credit card? You know why? Because remember that debt they set off to the side? They sold it to somebody that's called a debt collector. And that's when you see your LVNV fundings, your Midland funds. I know I'm hitting some nerves with ERC, so I can keep going. It's a lot of these companies that are right here, some especially, can't think of the name, it's one medical collection company right here in Rockledge, and they be on it. So what they do is, you don't pay something, they just go and buy it from whoever you didn't pay, and then they put it on your credit report again. So that's why you see double the collect, you see the amount at the top is a charge off, but you also see it at the bottom, okay? Student loans. A lot of people got student loans. They cannot be in a collection status. Again, this is Uncle Sam that y'all done got this money from. You think he gonna wanna underwrite this loan for FHA or for a VA to give you money when you couldn't even pay the student loans back, right? So I want y'all to get in the mindset of thinking that. Look at you if you were the lender trying to give money to somebody, okay? So no collections. Your student loans need to be in good standing, meaning making payments, or they need to be in deferment, okay, or forbearance, all right? We also, okay, we done talked about the collections. So you know you got your credit cards down there. Sometimes you might see evictions. That's a no. We can't have no eviction. We can't have no Comcast. I know some of y'all have seen Comcast, Progressive Insurance on y'all credit reports. I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that I normally see a lot. Medical bills. A whole lot of Homes Regional. A whole lot of Cape Canavers on these credit reports. Now, I'll get this from the loan officer, but I do know that you can purchase with some medical bills. Not a lot, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can with some, so you can slide with a little bit. But those utilities, those AT&T, Verizon, anything that is unpaid, those are all no's. So we don't want to waste anybody else's time. That's when you can call me. I don't have to fix your credit, but I can at least tell you what you need to get off so that you can move on to the next step. This is like a video game. You know, you can't get to the second level until you pass the first. So we want to make sure our credit is okay. Now, some people say, well, I read that all I need is a 580 credit score. Okay, you probably did read that for FHA. I just knew I knew your face. Hey. Okay, but I can tell you that a lot of banks that I know that I've sent people to the loan officer, they banks on 640 now. So you have to come even better than what you had before. Why? Because they want to make sure you can keep the house, right? And so your credit, whether you want to believe it or not, it tells everything I need to know about you, the person. And that is a part of credit education. Credit is not just making sure your bills are paid on time and making sure your score is good. I need to look at your credit and go, oh, well, she ain't one of those people that get stressed out and go shopping all the time because all of her credit card limits are, her limit is 300, she at 298. That tells me you shop. So if I see all the credit cards to the max, even if you got a good credit score, what will make the bank want to take that risk? Because how we know you're gonna pay your mortgage? So, and then this is not being condescending, I'm really just trying to talk to you the same way I would talk to you if you would call me. This is how they look at you. It tells them everything they need to know. Late payments, you got a late payment, you gotta wait 12 whole months before you can go to get the mortgage. Now ain't that hurtful? You done did everything, you done got this pay on time, all this stuff, you done paid all this stuff up, but now you're late. All of these things play into it. So I would say, and I don't keep y'all because I know y'all probably got questions, but I would tell you that if you are interested in buying a house, your very first step is find out what your credit is saying about you so you can see what you need to do before you go anywhere else. Okay? So anybody got a question? No, I know most of y'all credit experts. But if y'all need it, I have cards and everything on the back table. I'm a YouTuber, so I do make videos on credit. If y'all have not, TikTok, all that on all social media, so you can find me, but also y'all know I'm local, so you can contact me on Facebook too. So if y'all got any questions, I'll be back. And I guess that's just gonna be it.
Okay. If you all have your phones, take your phones out and add Shanika on Facebook. She can tell you how to do it. Okay. You probably have her, but if you don't, every Monday she goes live about information with unemployment, housing, everything under the sun. Yeah, stimulus, anything. She's good information. perfect.
I want y'all to have everything y'all entitled to have. And so all I'm doing is passing on what I know from my experience onto y'all, so you can take it.
And she's a vet
but
as well,
I am
so
a vet.
if you have any type of VA loans or any question, anything like that, we can take care of you.
So, all right, so I'm being back.
She'll be back again.
Okay.
If you want to speak with her before you leave, I'm gonna do like a 15-minute break in the middle. But if you want to speak to her, you can, and then follow her on Facebook at her, but fix your credit. Now, Jennifer is gonna come up here with her team. So she's your mortgage broker. She is like the heart of buying a house. I get to do the fun stuff. She gets to do the stuff that is hard, like Ashley's her stuff that you don't want to really give her. But I tell everybody, we all work for you. So you don't want to hide anything from Shamika, from your lender, from me. If you tell us, we can help you fix the problem. We can tell you how to get around it. She is who I personally use to purchase my home. So I can tell you she does close. Some lenders, you get to the closing table and they're like, oh, sorry, we can't finance you. She will make sure you get financed before you get to the closing table. The whole way along, beforehand, she'll get you a pre-approval letter, and then she handles all your underwriting. So she's who you will deal with the entire process, and she has all the good information, so.
I'm getting ready to pass it out to you. I'm Jennifer Moody, Absolute Home Loan Services. This is Nikki Peters. She's actually the loan officer. I'm the manager. When I did Rebecca's loan, I was the loan officer. So based out of Orlando, but we're also in Georgia and South Carolina. So as soon as Lynn can pass out the folders, we're going to go over a few points with you. There's a lot of information in here, and I'm not going to go over all of it. It would take way too long. We're just going to go over some bullet points. We were established in 2006, small company, and we like to keep transparency in the loan process. And work with people like you to get you in a home. If you call us and you don't qualify when you call us, as long as you're willing to do what we tell you need to do, we'll work with you until you're ready. So, and that's a big what if, because, there could be some things you may not want to do. So, but if you call us and we can't qualify you, then as long as you work with us and do what we tell you to do, in the end, you'll be in a home. So, you should have your folders now. And I'm just going to go over a few bullet points. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to go over everything. There's just too much information. So, available loan programs, because this can be wide open. Some of y'all may have money down. Some of y'all may need 100% financing. A lot of it depends on your credit score, how much you can get. And if you do like 97%, if you need 3% down conventional, then you have to be a first-time buyer. So I don't know if all of you are first-time buyers. So an FHA will do 3.5% down for pretty much anybody, as long as you have the credit and the income to qualify. So this lists all of the different programs. We do USDA, VA, conventional, FHA. We do self-employed with bank statements if you can't qualify. A lot of self-employed people don't report their income on taxes.
That's me!
So we can qualify you with bank statements. Just keep in mind because this is what happens. Y'all get online and y'all shop online and you look at everything and you see this 2.5% interest rate. Well, if you're calling us with a 640 score and no money down and you need a bank statement program, that's not the interest rate you're gonna get. So it just, that's something that you have to call us in the beginning and discuss with us what your specific situation is, and then we can tell you where you're going to fall with that. And a lot of the stuff you see online is just a bait and switch. You'll see this interest rate, if you don't read the fine print at the bottom that says, okay, that rate costs 2 points. So you need to shop every lender at the same time. If you call me today, and then you call Bank of America tomorrow, well, rates go up and down 2 or 3 times a day. So if you're not, shopping every lender you want to deal with at the same time, then it's not comparing apples to apples. And you need to ask the specific questions. Okay, I see your 2.5% interest rate online. What's it cost? You know what I mean? Because they don't say that. They're not going to tell you that. And that's what's very deceiving. Called me about that last night with Karen Carmen.
Oh, really?
Yes, she saw a 1.9 online, and I'm like, you're paying for it. It's just, and sometimes it's hard to convince people of that because they're shopping online. So you just have to know that every little part of the loan process affects that rate, depending on your score and your down payment and your program and all that. So your loan officer has to know that up front. what is the exact thing you're trying to do and what is your score, and then we can quote you an accurate rate. And we are transparent. So if you tell me, well, I want a 3% rate, okay, well, this is what's going to cost you. So do you want to pay it, or do you want to go 3 1/4? Do you know what I mean? And that's where other people, I feel, are just, we call it the bait and switch. They don't tell you, and you get to the closing table, and now you owe this money.
And you do have that right to shop with other lenders, and if they do give you a quote, I mean, if you don't mind, we would love to see it, just to point it out to you that, okay, yeah, you're getting this rate, but you're gonna pay this much for it.
Yeah,
Just
because sometimes,
explain it.
yeah, and see, when was it, 2008? I think 2008 was when all these new laws went into effect, and they changed the loan estimate procedures to what you get from your lender in the beginning of the process. It's hard for mortgage people to understand that document, let alone someone that's never seen one. And so sometimes, if you can send us what you're being quoted, we can just show you, okay, this is what you're not seeing. And that's, the only way to compare apples to apples. So it's just, don't be deceived, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Don't be suckered into something.
Yeah. So anybody have any questions on the different loan programs? Because there's so many, and I'm going real quick, so, yes.
So what would somebody do if they were interested in one of these first-time home buyer programs? Do they pick one, or you pick one?
I would pick it. The first thing they need to do is call us, or Nikki, I should say. That way we can see what they qualify for. You know what I mean? If you're a first-time buyer, okay, do you have the credit score and the income to get that program? Because it's all, a derivative of income, assets, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's got more information to go over with you on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to that, because
Yeah.
the overview of the loan process, a lot of people don't understand, and the costs for the buyers, they don't understand. So at the beginning of the loan process is getting the information to run your credit, and after you started to speak up, and then along with getting the particular scenario information, like Jennifer was saying, you need to know that you're self-employed or anything. I mean, child support, Social Security income, I mean, anything that you get as far as income, getting the assets, employment information, who will be going on the loan. We can have multiple borrowers, but we're gonna have to use all of their credit. If they're going on the loan, we're gonna run credit for it, get all of their income information. History of any bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sale liens or judgments, if you're a first-time home buyer, a current home buyer, or a homeowner. And so once we run credit, we compare the debt that's on the credit to the income provided to determine how much you qualify for. That, along with what program you qualify for, which is going to be the credit score, will determine a lot of that, because each loan program requires a different credit score. It also requires different down payments, but once we run credit and we get all the income, then we get that figured out. Whatever, if it's multiple loan programs, whatever suits you, whatever you're comfortable with, as far as with a monthly payment or down payment, then that's what we work with you to determine that. And whenever you provide all of the information to us, we want to know everything. Even if you think it's bad, we want to know it. We'll know what to approve until the end.
Let us decide what to buy, honestly. We have to know everything.
And then after verifying the income, assets, credit info, and determine which option is best suited for your scenario, a pre-qual letter will be sent to you and your realtor. And then that will give you the option to go shop for a home. And then, just so you know, pre-qualification does not mean that you are approved for the loan. That comes from the lender. A pre-qual means that we have reviewed the information and we feel comfortable that the financing would go through. We're not going to give you a false pre-qual. That would hurt our business for one, and hurt y'all to own a house. And so once you have found a home, you're going to put in an offer. And as far as the contract, that is discussed between you and your realtor. Make sure that they explain everything to you. If you don't have, a good understanding of the contract, then the loan process isn't going to go smooth. because there are certain dates that you need to remember, you know, due diligence and appraisal,
Also, if you want closing costs covered too.
expirations, right. Closing costs being covered by the seller concessions. That's really big in Georgia.
No, it's big here too.
But having that, you know, that's all going to be on the contract, so just make sure you discuss it with your realtor. So, once you put in an offer, and the offer is accepted by the seller, the contract can come to us, and then that's whenever we get all the preliminary documents drawn up and sent out for y'all to sign. When, after you sign, it's gonna go to the lender. The lender is the one who is the bank. They're gonna lend the money. So they're gonna look at all of the information that we provide them. Income, assets, credit, contract, all of that. They're gonna look at it to see about if you will be approved. Approval does come with some conditions. They may have a little, you know, some questions about some things shown on your credit. We just have to explain that. But we as the mortgage brokers have already gone through it and we know what's going on because we've asked you. So we possibly just provide that whenever we submit it. So then they won't come back with a whole bunch of questions about your credit or income or anything. So once it's approved and we have those conditions and we get them going, we can order the appraisal. The appraisal is paid out of pocket unless it is a VA loan, then it's paid at closing. But that is the only out-of-pocket expense, besides if there may be a termite inspection that's needed, a septic inspection. Home inspection. That is all out-of-pocket expenses. You have to pay them when they're ordered at the time of the service. Once we have all of the conditions cleared up, appraisal's in, it's good, we get a clear to close. In the beginning, there is a loan estimate that goes out. You have to sign it 3 days after receiving it. It is just a loan estimate. The name says it all. The closing disclosure is sent out once the loan is clear to close, and that has to be signed 3 days prior to closing. It has to be sent and signed 3 days prior to closing. That's going to be the final numbers. And then closing is when you as the buyer sign the closing, the final documents at closing, all of those documents besides the deed, the note, the promissory, or the promissory note, all of the other documents that you sign should look familiar because they're all the preliminary documents that we sent before, just in their final form. So, once you sign all the documents, you're deemed the owner of the house and you can move in.
Yay!
I know it sounds kind of simple whenever
We're
I
trying to
through
go
it,
quick, so.
but it is, I mean, it does take a little bit of time. We usually say 30 to 45 days, just because it's not our turn times, it's the lenders, the appraisers, everyone involved, everyone's turn time.
I have a few questions. How far back do you look when you like pull credit? If somebody has an eviction from 4 or 5 years ago, how far back do you go when looking at credit for a home? Like 5, 7, 10 years? They look at
Depends on
everything?
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
An eviction, I've actually gotten away with one over 5, under 5, probably not.
Okay, so if you have an eviction, make sure
Yeah.
y'all clear them up.
Yeah, foreclosures, what, 4 now? FHA only?
Yeah,
Foreclosures 4, FHA only. It just depends on what they're trying to do and what the loan program is.
Okay.
Bankruptcy's on there for 10 years, but if you have good reestablished credit after the bankruptcy, you're okay. So
Okay.
that depends on, you know, if you file bankruptcy and then you turn around and pay all your bills late again, that's repetitive.
Right,
There's no
okay.
explanation on that.
They probably won't even lend on it. But, and that's what I was gonna say earlier, and somebody made a comment about the 580 score, and here's the kicker with that, it's what's causing that 580 score. If you call us and you have a 580 score, but your credit looks pretty much perfect, that's financeable. But usually you have a 580 score because something's wrong. Do you know what I mean? So it just depends on what's causing that score. Late payments, stuff like that, foreclosures, repos, well, then the answer is no. You know, so it just depends. If every credit card you got is maxed, it's kind of, okay, we're gonna have to see your income and see why you're living that way. You know, it just all depends. Okay?
I may have missed this, but did we talk about the work history or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. We got a little bit more left to do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm gonna go over the do's and don'ts real quick. It's in here. The do's and don'ts while your loan's in process.
This is a big thing, pay attention.
Yeah.
This is
It
very
really
big.
is, because what happens is we pre-qualify you based on what we know at the beginning of the process. Any of these things that happen in the middle of the process, that pre-qual, you can throw it right out the window. It's gone, you know? So that's why we want to really drive this point home. Don't change jobs in the middle of the process. And, you know, if something's going on at your job, you know, give us a call, let us know. You know, we can try to juggle and figure out what needs to happen. But what happens is people try to hide stuff. And if you hide stuff from us, we can't help you.
We want to know.
Yeah, we want to know everything. We'll figure out what's to hide. I mean, that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. Don't buy a car or make a major purchase. People who are getting ready to buy a house get excited. And they want to go out and finance a couch and finance an appliance. It's like, you know, well, guess what? You don't qualify for the loan anymore. So,
Even co-signing
yeah.
someone.
You don't do that until you're done. You know, unfortunately, you're probably gonna wait a little bit for your couch after you close on the house, but you just can't do it because you could lose your home. Don't deposit any of what we call funny money into the bank. We have to know, when we ask you for your assets, your bank statements, if it's a cash deposit, we can't count it. So if you're getting ready to buy a house, get your money in the bank now. A lot of people keep mattress money, you know, we can't use it. So we have to season everything for 2 months. So if you get it in the bank before you start, by the time you're done, it'll be seasoned for 2 months. Don't change your closing date without talking to the realtor, to us, to everybody, because you don't know how much that's affecting the seller of the property and what's going on. Your interest rate could be locked, you know, whatever's going on, you change that closing date, it could really mess things up. You could be paying for that rate. The seller could cancel on you. So that's something that, you know, you really need to discuss. Do ask us questions. Anything that comes up, no question is stupid. You know, we have to know what's going on. Do you keep all of your originals? Paycheck stubs, assets, all of that. People tend to put things in shredder, and that kind of makes us crazy. So please keep everything, because we're gonna need it. If you're selling a current home, we're gonna need documentation from that. We have to prove the sale of that home. Let me know if any of your funds are gonna be gift funds. So if you are buying a home and your mom is gifting you $5,000, we have to know that up front. And your mom's gotta be willing to show her bank statements. So, and sometimes we run into that where the person that's donating the money says, well, I'm not on the loan. We still gotta know where this money's coming from. So make sure whoever is gonna gift you that money doesn't have a problem with it. If they do, have them gift it 2 months ahead of time, so we don't have to ask for that. Contact us about employment changes and notify us of any marital status changes, especially in the state of Florida. Georgia, we don't deal with this, but in Florida, if you're married and it's a primary residence, they're on it. Your husband's on it, your wife's on it. So every state's different, but in Florida, that's a big deal. We run into that here. They've got to sign. So any questions about the do's and don'ts? We're good. Now's the one I think you asked about. The documents needed for purchase. This is pretty much everything we're going to ask for at the beginning of the process, and then once your file is underwritten, there may be additional things that come up. But this is, you know, at the beginning. Driver's license and social security card, copy of it. It says 2 most recent pay stubs, but it's really 30 days worth. So if you're paid weekly, then that means 4. We have to have 30 days worth of pay stubs. Last 2 years W-2s or 1099s and tax returns. Unless you're self-employed and want to do a bank statement program, that would be 12 or 24 months bank statements. Here's the one he was asking about: name, address, phone number for employer, along with position and date of hire. We have to have a 2-year history. If there's any gaps, we have to explain it. And I'm not saying we can't get around it. Sometimes we can. But if you've got it over a 30-day gap, we have to explain that, and it has to be something believable. So talk to us about any gaps you've had in employment.
Does everybody understand that? If you're a CNA, you can go from one CNA place to another,
Yeah.
but you can't go from CNA to Walmart. Even if You leave your CNA job on Monday and start your Walmart job on Tuesday. It's a different career field, so they have to explain that. I didn't know that either. So stay in your same career field for 2 years.
Yep. Okay, where am I? All deposits, I already kind of went over this. All deposits on above bank statements have to be verified. If it just says deposit, check stub showing what the deposit is. If money is transferred, this is a big one. Some people have 2 and 3 accounts with the same bank, and they get online and transfer money back and forth. We have to have, if you've transferred money, I've got to have 2 months from every account you transferred it from. Because they're going to see it transferred in, and they're going to want to know where it came from, and they're going to want to see that account. So, best advice, quit transferring money all over the place, but, you know, if you're going to do it, we have to have those accounts. This is refinance. If you are divorced and have child support, we have to have the court order child support, we have to have the divorce papers to prove whether or not you're receiving or paying alimony. If you're going to use child support as income, it has to have been received for the last 2 months and will continue for 3 years. So they're going to ask you for birth certificates of your children to prove how much longer you're going to get that child support.
Unless the birth's on the divorce.
Yeah, sometimes it is. And sometimes, like I've had one where it was in the divorce decree that it was paid till the age of 25, which typically it's 18. So it just depends.
I need that. I need that attorney, wait a minute.
Oh my goodness. If you own any rental properties, we need the leases. If you have filed bankruptcy or had a short sale or foreclosure, we'll need that paperwork. Of course, the contract for purchase and the information for the title company you're going to use, we typically will get that from your realtor. Yes.
What if you just a saver and you don't have a bank account, you just been saved up $20,000?
You don't have any bank account right now? No. I would recommend you get one.
What if you just saved $20,000 and just came to you and...
She's got $20,000 mattress money.
You can't do that?
Nope. You need to open up a bank account, hon, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people, like my Uncle Wilbur told me in Georgia, he said if I had to do life all over again, I'd be in a trailer and my money'd be buried in the backyard, you know? But I mean, it's unfortunately with what we do, everything's got to be proven. So if you're really thinking about buying, you need to get it in the bank, I'm sorry. Okay.
Just why choose Absolute? We've said it multiple times. We communicate throughout the entire loan process. We let you know what's going on. We let all the parties know that's involved. We let them know what's going on. We work for our buyers on behalf of our buyers. We thank the sellers for selling you the home, but you're our clients. We're going to work for you. All options are provided and explained in a straightforward, understandable way. If you have any questions, always ask us about anything that's going on with the loan. We make sure you're quoted off costs with no surprises, no bait and switch tactics, like Jennifer said. And then we're constantly looking at the new programs that are available, new guidelines that come out just to stay up to date so that we can provide better service to our buyers.
Any more questions? We went over this real quick, and there's some cheat sheets and bullet points in here. If you guys have time to look at it before we leave, we'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one, because we just want to make it easier and make you very well prepared for when you're ready to start. Okay? Lynn, did you give out the raffle tickets? Okay. We've got a couple raffles we want to give away, so you give us a second. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you guys think of a question later, they're always available. Their cards are back there.
Yep.
You can call her. I bother her all the time.
Sorry.
And we're on Instagram and Facebook
Yes,
as well.
yeah, if you want to take out your phone, just add them. If you have it, you can add them on Facebook, and that way you can always get a hold of her. Like I said, she will definitely help you.
Slide to feel lucky on. Say the whole thing.
Slide to feel lucky on. Yeah, they do.
It's Absolute is the company one, and then, I have one as well.
So don't hide anything from them. They will tell you how to get around, or, oh, well, we'll just go over under that. Let them decide what's best. They're not gonna fuss or yell at you for anything, I promise. Right? Why did you buy this?
We will if they hide something.
Yeah, if you hide something, then they're gonna see it anyways, they're gonna come to you. But if they can, let me say this, they can help you hide stuff if they need to. So tell them up front. Are y'all okay? Do you wanna take a 5-minute break and go to the bathroom? Anybody? No. Okay, Mr. G, he's a realtor as well. This is Miss Frida, my broker's husband, but he's gonna go over a few things, and there you go.
Hello, everyone. Before I talk a little bit about homeowner assistance, first I want to thank everyone for coming out today. My wife and I have been working on this, what we're doing here today, for probably the past 2 years. So it means a lot for us for you guys to come out. And our thing is to help people in our community learn the language and the process of home ownership. So if you're working and you have a work history and you're paying rent, you can own a home. And we're here to help you do that. Our office is right next door, so I would like for you, whoever has not been over there, stop in, take a look, because we'll walk you through this entire process. I want to thank Rebecca, Shamika, Jennifer, and everybody for coming out. We're here to walk you through the process. A lot of people are afraid of home ownership and they don't understand the process. But the fact that the realtors, lenders, credit repair people, tax people need to help, there's no excuse. If you pay rent, you can pay a mortgage. Okay, so and we're here to help. So I just wanted to say that this means a lot to us. We just got this place in January. We wanted to set it up for homeownership training. And this is actually the first training that we've had. Again, I want to thank Rebecca for setting it up and Shamika for coming out, because I've been eyeing both of them for doing this for a while. And I didn't think it would turn out as nice as it has, but we're really, really appreciative of it, and we're here to help. And whatever you need, let us know. We'll try to work it out. Even if you need a job, come to us. We'll try to help you. Whatever you need. As far as the down payment assistance program, it varies. Okay, depending on your income. And Rebecca really touched a lot on it, and it's not really what I do, but I wanted to get up and say something, just because we put a lot of work into putting this together for you guys. But one of the things with the Brevard County Purchase Assistance Program is you must live in Brevard County. And I'm assuming that everybody here lives in Brevard County. It can be a new home or existing home. And when they say new first-time home buyer, even if you owned a home 3 years ago, okay, and you're buying another home, you still qualify for that first-time homeowners program. So it's technically can be your second home as long as there's a gap. Most likely you're going to have to do some type of online training or take a class and get a certification to give to the lender to make sure that you completed that particular class. But there are numerous programs out there that are based on income and where you are. So as we go through the process, we'll find out if you qualify for it, financially, and if you just qualify for a period. So we'll assist you with that. Other than that, I just want to say again, thank you. And I'm really excited for the day for me and my wife. I don't know if y'all met my wife, Frida, who's the broker owner of the Mortgage Project.
She owns everything you see here.
Yeah, and she owns me too. But this is something that we had the office next door, just to give you a quick background on who we are. We had the office next door for about 2 years. This was a vape shop. And when it became available, we wanted to put our nonprofit in here so we can have training and help people in the community, with home ownership. So we got it in January and just completed it really. this past week. So we're very happy for everyone that came out. And again, we want to help tell people about us. Look us up on social media, Facebook, because we're here to help. Take a look at the office. If anything at all you need, let us know. And with that, I'm done. Honey, you want to say something?
Oh, you want me to hear? Okay.
My wife is also a minister. Oh, wow. She comes on.
Let the church say amen.
Hey, we'll start taking off. She comes on Facebook 9:30 on Sundays. Check her out. She does a Bible study for women on Tuesday at 1. All right? And good woman, good Christian woman. And take.
Yes, she's my broker. So I've actually worked for her. I own a residential and commercial cleaning company. So that's how I got into real estate. I was cleaning all the vacation rentals and houses. And she said, Rebecca, you can do it, you can do it. And I'm telling you, Miss Pretty says you can do it, you can do it. So I went and got my real estate license, and that's where I'm at now. But it's fun when you get to us. So by the time you get to see me and Miss Frida, we get to have fun. They get to do like the mean stuff and fuss at you. Oh, you have to go pay this, you have to pay that. I just get to take you to do the fun stuff. So she's gonna go over a few things with you. I'm gonna go over a few things that I think people need to think about when they purchase a home. So I know that I have complete faith that they will take care of you financially. Physically, I don't want you to buy a house at the end of a stop sign on a three-way stop. You might have never thought about that, but if a street is here and a street is here and your house is here, every time somebody comes to that stop sign, their light shines through your window. Did you think about that? Probably not. I bought a house on the end of the street. I know that. You want to think about things like that. Now, obviously, that's not a reason not to purchase your home, but you need to think about realistically, okay, do we want to have kids in the future? Do I need to buy a bigger house? Do I not need a 4-bedroom because it's just me and my kids are leaving school, to go to college in 2 years? So we'll sit down and figure out what you actually need when you come see us, what areas you're looking in. A lot of times, you want to live in a specific area, but you don't know that there are good prices in Merritt Island. That people think, Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral is expensive out here. We can find you a good house out here if this is what is best for you. So go ahead, Miss Frida. She'll talk and then I'll help you to be in here.
Isn't she doing a wonderful job? I'm so. She got all yellow, right? She's magnificent, and her story, her testimony is why me and Jean are here. She is why we are who we are, because our whole purpose is to help our community. And we have the opportunity to be able to become real estate agents. I was a correctional officer for 29 years. Oh, wow. In Pennsylvania. And then I loved HGTV. My husband says, well, why don't you become a real estate agent? I said, okay, if I could sell $1 million houses. Well, it's a process. Just like what you're going through right now, it's a process. And we went from real estate agent to broker associate to managing broker to owning our own company. And guess what? If you have been dreaming, that can be you in any area or facet of your life. I am a cheerleader. I work hard for the underdog, and that's why we stepped out of the place we were before, so that we can do what we need to do to help you. So I know, don't raise your hand, but how many has ever been on Section 8 before? Don't raise your hand. Just blink once or twice. I mean, and how many are renting now? How many are renting in rentals right now? How many are just staying with somebody else? And you've had a dream all your life. I just want a little house with a white picket fence. I just want to be like everybody else. I just want home ownership. And I hear you, and I feel you, and feel you. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone that has walked through this door, because this is your first step. Is you did something. You made time out of your day You stop whatever you do during the day to come out here in the heat and sit and get this information. That's the first step, and I applaud you. I mean, you've done more than a lot of people have done. You start to dream, and that's all you do is dream. When you start to dream, get a plan. We moved from Pennsylvania, we had a plan. We had a plan that we were gonna move in so many months, and here we are. We didn't know anybody. But I'm telling you, you gotta keep your dream alive. I don't care if this process right here starts now and it finishes in a year or it finishes in 6 years. Don't stop trying. Do not stop trying. We have Janika here. I love this whole credit repair thing. I didn't believe in credit repair until it was time to really get down and dirty when we were self-employed. And it was like somebody told us what we need to do, because I'd never been self-employed before. So I believe in credit repair. It is worth it, putting a little bit of money in front so that you can get everything I'm telling you, you sow the seed, it's worth getting. It's worth getting what you want. I'm telling you, stop saying people just trying to take my money. No, people are trying to help. They're trying to help. And then the lenders that showed up today from Georgia, yes, they did a wonderful job. Georgia, yes, sir.
I just want to say one more thing, dealing with down payment. This will be actually a council agency.
Oh, wow.
So actually, in the next 90 days, we would be able to offer that to you.
That's awesome.
The nonprofit is going to be here, the for-profit is next door, and I'm in the process of dealing with the government now so that this funds for down payment assistance.
Yeah, no, that's what this is all about, is that the more of these seminars that we have, we'll be able to help you. We have an office back there for privacy that Mr. Gene has been working hard to get his counseling agency license, he did, and just to get it connected, just so we can give back to our community. But nevertheless, each and every person has been important here. Nate, thank you for showing up.
Yes, ma'am.
People know Nate. Come on, Nate. Hey, Nate, what you doing, Nate?
All photo shoots. I have a studio, everything.
Yes. So we're all in here. We're all in here. We do something, we know something. And so if there's something that you do that we can help you with and support you, we would love to support you. Okay, so if you have a small business, we would love to be that person. But nevertheless, there are a lot of emotions in the process of home ownership. Not just for you, but I be feeling for you. Like, oh God, my chest hurts. Are we gonna make this happen for them? And my husband will tell you, I will stay out all evening long working. How long you work? We work until I fall off to sleep. And when I wake back in the morning, the only time we really rest is when we go out of the country for vacation. But we will work for you. Rebecca has a tenacity that is unbelievable. She has so make sure that you communicate with her, that you talk with her, and even if you take your business elsewhere, we wish you success. We wish you the best. We wish you, but I'm telling you, you're not going to have a better group of people that's going to, literally come in and take time with you. You can stop in office any day and call first. We run it. And if you ever want to be a real estate agent, come see me.
Yes,
Let's work it. Let's work
We'll
it.
figure it out.
Yeah, that young lady right there she said she wanted to do it, she put in the work. You gotta put in the work and be serious about it, just like with home buying. You really wanna do this? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get started. You got all the tools right here in this room. You got cards, you got flyers, you got, because everybody cares. Yeah. Listen, when you get home, everybody wins. Everybody wins. Listen, the inspector wins, you got paid. The appraiser wins, you got paid. The selling agent wins because they got paid. The listing agent, they got paid. You you've got it. Okay, in this season right now, it is very, I can't even explain it. This season in real estate is so bizarre. It's so bizarre, so you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, don't settle for something just because we gotta hurry up, this is the only one they accepted our offer. If you can't see yourself in that house for at least a couple of years. Then just wait. And we try to say, what God has for you is for you. You got to come on and take it.
Ms. Frida? So I just want to kind of give y'all some reasons of why you should use a realtor, what we're going to do, how we're going to benefit you. So it's a lot of legal contracts. If you don't know what that wording says, you just sign it, you just sign your life away, thanks, you use your keys, your social security numbers, all that. But you need to know what it says. So your realtor is going to look over your entire contract. Your realtor is going to make sure there are certain things that you don't know. For example, closing costs. In the state of Florida, a lot of sellers pay closing costs. That's money that you're not going to have to pay out of pocket. If you have a realtor, we can negotiate that for you. We can say, hey, we'll put in this offer for $150,000, but we want you to take care of closing costs. So already there, the money you saved in closing costs is what a realtor is going to get paid. So, and let me just say this, as a buyer, you don't pay your real estate agent. I work for you for free. The house that you buy, the person selling it pays me. So I don't get paid until you sign and you're in the door. So I'm going to work with you the entire way through because it doesn't do me any good to stop. So you get your pre-approval letter, and like Ms. Frida said, even if you don't use us, use a realtor. Find a realtor that you trust, find a lender you trust, find somebody that can walk you through the process. I would suggest make sure you talk to your realtor, a few times back and forth to see how quick they respond. Some realtors will reply 2-3 days later. I'll reply within an hour or two because I'm on my phone all day. I'm young. So I see it, so I reply to it. So just keep in mind that we look at your contract and we make sure that it's what's best for you. Your lender will look at your contract also and be able to tell you, hey, these numbers are correct. I brought her to closing with me. She looked at the paper and said, okay, here you go, Rebecca, and I signed. If you don't know, I don't know. I don't know what's right. I don't know if the taxes on that are right. I don't know if the homeowner's insurance is right. She helped me get homeowner's insurance. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you along the way. So like I said, we'll go over like your appraisal, your inspection. You can use, a lot of people don't know this, you can use any inspector you want to. Some inspectors we found $250, they'll do a 5-bedroom house. Other inspectors charge $400 for a 2-bedroom condo.
Yep.
But if you don't know that, you're gonna pay $400 because you're excited, I need this inspection to go buy this house. Also, we're gonna look at everything that takes place. So when you get an inspection, it's gonna be like, it's me, I promise. It's gonna be, you're gonna be like, oh, that's wrong with my house. If there's a chip of paint on the wall, they put it on the inspection report. So you don't have to worry about those things. We're gonna look at your inspection report and say, okay, wait a minute, there's wiring problems, let's get this fixed in the contract. If you don't have a realtor, you don't know how to do that. Plumbing is a big issue, you wanna get plumbing things fixed. If there's like a cover missing off a light socket, do you not want to buy that house because you have to pay $2 for a cover? No, we're not going to ask the seller to fix that. Those things your realtor is going to be able to help you with and know where to budge and where to not budge. I had a realtor when I bought my house, and when I went and saw it, there was like kids' bunk beds in there, and I asked my realtor, which was not Miss Frida, by the way. It was years ago. I asked my realtor, I was like, well, can we ask the seller to leave the bunk beds? Like, he already cleared everything else out of the house. My realtor refused to even ask. We went to the closing table, Jennifer can tell you this, and the guy was like, oh, I just donated them. I had to pay somebody $20 to come pick them up and take them to the dump. So something I wanted, I could have got, had my realtor just asked. For free, no issues, no problem. I'm going to do that for you. What's the worst somebody can say? No? Okay, but you didn't have it before, right? So you're not any further back than what in this market, people will tell you, oh, you gotta pay $20,000 over asking to get a house. Don't let anybody tell you that. I just sold a house for $3,000 under asking. A 4-bedroom house in Port St. John. So don't let anybody tell you, oh, this market is a seller's market. It is. Houses are flying, but you can get a house that you want. Don't listen when people tell you that. We can negotiate. Hey, there's $10,000 worth of stuff on the inspection that you fix. Let's go half and half. We'll bring the price down of the house $5,000. Well, that's less you pay every month. So we'll handle all the negotiations for you, make sure everything is correct. Any realtor you use should do that. And one thing I've noticed too, is contracts fall out all the time. So you could put an offer in on a house, and it could fall out of contract. Every house I have sold or bought so far has fell out of contract the first time. Let me just say that. Don't get upset or discouraged. We'll go find you another house. You don't want to buy, how like this real estate, you don't want to jump into a house that's not right for you. If the roof is caving in, you don't want to buy that house. And if you don't have a realtor, you might feel locked in or scared, oh my God, I bought this house with this roof. No, as a realtor, we can get you out of that contract. Your lender, the same thing, we can make it work. So, we'll go over all your closing paperwork, so you know what everything is. The 3-day paper she gives you to sign, that you have to sign 2 days before closing, will have your actual mortgage payment on it. So your taxes, your insurance, everything is paid through your mortgage every month. And we set all that up, that she sets all that up, so you make one payment and you know you're covered. They'll put the money into escrow and they'll pay your insurance, taxes, and all of that. And then, if you have questions afterwards, we're still here. We'll still help you. You do have to wait 2 to 3 months before you can go to Lowe's and like get approved for stuff. But that's okay. So I'm affording a new house for a whole month. Hopefully you fix your credit enough. You have some room on some credit cards. You can go purchase furniture with that. Listen, I've slept on an air mattress when I bought my house because I couldn't afford to get my stuff out of storage. But we'll help you with we can help you along the way with anything that you need. So does everybody feel like they gained something from today? Yes? Yes? Okay, so I'm done. I think everybody else is done. But I want you all to have a chance to ask the questions. So here's a question to Shamika. She's still here for a little while. Your lenders, if you think you're at the point where, okay, I'm ready to fix my credit. I know I don't need $10,000, $20,000 in the bank to buy a house. So, okay, great. Now you learned that today. Let's go get your credit fixed and get you a house by, pre-approved by the end of the summer. Then you can start looking and move before the end of the year, and y'all aren't even, you just came here thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get the information. Well, we can get you in a house by the end of the year. So, that's a good goal. That's a realistic goal. You are gonna have time to fix your credit, to look for a house. Most mortgages take 30 to 45 days to close once you buy a house. But should we have any questions about anything? Any credit questions, mortgage questions, real estate questions? Okay, well there's a bathroom right here if you need to use it. Please go, listen, I can't hear myself. Don't make me feel useless, like I did something. You're very welcome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
All right.